Hello once again to my entire Brokers Playbook Nation. I am sitting here today with yet another legend of real estate. I am with Winson Chen, VP of Sales and Development for one of Canada's oldest and biggest development groups, none other than Tridel. They've been around since 1934, and for the last 30 years, 3 decades, Mr. Winson Chen has led the charge on their sales division and their development division. Today, you will hear the insight of how the past correlates straight into the future of Toronto, which is now a world-class city. For anybody that thinks that condos in Toronto are just another box in the sky, you will be very happy to know that that is not the case, and the buildings coming to market now rival some of the best on the globe. Stay tuned. Once again, welcome to Brokers Playbook. I am sitting here with Winson Chen, VP of Tridel for their sales and development departments. Winson, welcome to the show.
Thank you. The honor is mine to meet the legendary Simeon.
That is to be challenged by many, but welcome nonetheless, Winson. I am very, very excited to share some of the conversations we've had preparing for this podcast, for this interview. Times are a-changing, and we're about to head into a fall market. You've been around for a long time as one of the legends in the business. You handle a massive portfolio of inventory. You sit on the board of directors as a realtor. You're involved in the industry. So what I want to set the precedent for is when you speak, people listen, and your opinion is sought after for a reason. You've seen a few ups and downs in the market in your day, many for that matter, and you're still in charge of one of Canada's leading development firms, in charge of thousands of units of inventory. So where you want to start is up to you. I prefer to hear a little bit about how you came into this business and kind of a little bit about your journey. And of course, I want to get into the meat of it, which is tell us what the hell to do to navigate the storm that has been brewing for the last 3 years and is now at surface. That's where I want to go today.
Yeah, and I think for sure then I started off with my resume and my history. Some of you may be disappointed. Mine's are actually pretty simple. My first job is Tridel, and hopefully this is my last. So that almost like 30 years ago, I started with Tridel as a salesperson, and 30 years later, I'm still a glorified salesperson. But I'm really blessed to have a brand behind it too, because like when you work with a legendary brand, and then there's a lot of story and a lot of hard working behind it. And then along the way, I was kind of benefit to learn from all the journey, from not just building it, developing it, obviously in charge of the sales and marketing it too. So for that, I'm very thankful and grateful that I can witness one of the greatest brand come into fruition and then become stronger and stronger along the time. And then also the other thing that I'm really thankful is actually our market. Toronto is actually one of the most resilient markets in North America. It truly is. And we have a lot of like unique feature that not many city that be able to have it for sure. Like, let me ask you a question, Simeon. How like you have a big team and one of the top team in Canada. And your team, how many ethnic group are you represent in your team?
I represent the entire globe, more or less. I have East Asian, West Asian, Middle Asian, from Arabic to Chinese to French in Lebanon to Hebrew. My team represents literally almost every corner of the earth.
Yeah, and that's
I have a very diverse team.
Precisely, that's also the strength of Toronto too.
That is Toronto's strength, no doubt.
Where else would you be able to build a team such as this? None other than Toronto. I think that's the core attribute. So There's a reason people come here. That's one of the reasons I come here 34 plus years ago, and this is how we do it too. So I think something that I'll learn is actually be grateful to the market and try to understand the market. Obviously, the market have ups and downs, but we have to understand the dynamic, the demand dynamics, the supply dynamic. While people threw you into, oh, this month compared to last year is dropped like 30%, or sales drop X amount of percent too. Forget about this. And you have to remember the resilience of the market, why you're here in the first place, and we have to be very, very thankful. And then, as a matter of fact, if you actually take a look around the city, a lot of top tech companies started to come here, isn't it, Simeon? I'm sure that now that I come to your studio, I walk past so many innovator and amazing studios such as this too, here in Toronto, in this pocket here. And we be able to kind of see it time after time that there are so many talent here. We comment about the global diverse workforce here too, a lot of foreign student incoming too. And I think a lot of technology company and investment companies see that. So they are also moving the resource and grow the business here as well too. Immigration, obviously, I don't really need to comment. Our target was 400,000. We don't have enough home. Now our target is 500,000. Obviously, we won't have enough home. We talk about millions incoming to this beautiful city. So on that note, that's something that I do believe we really have a very strong demand dynamics too. So don't worry about the ups and downs a little bit too. We have a very strong demand dynamics too. And I actually see a lot of potential incoming for the city, and I witnessed it for the past 30 years.
So, and I truly appreciate, because what you're covering is the fundamental dynamic of our real estate market here in Toronto. Tridel being the size that they are, I can only imagine, look at global economics and global fundamental principles of what's happening, such as immigration policy, such as the tech sector, because somebody's going to come here, they're going to seek work, and their work has to be readily available and in demand. What has Tridel's position been? Because I can think right now, right off the bat, one of the biggest developments this city has ever seen is right at Front and Spadina. Right. It's where Globe and Mail used to be. It is now called The Well. If you're a broker in the city of Toronto and you don't know what The Well is, you might have different issues. But almost the entire country knows of this development. It's become already infamous for its cutting-edge design, built-in technology. Tell me a little bit about why Tridel and all its partners in this case, because this is a huge development. Tell me the scope of the development and tell me why you took the approach that you took, because this is a global community. This is not a Toronto community.
It is.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I think first and foremost, being the leader in the industry is difficult. You always have to challenge yourself. You always have to bring in the new element. How do we champion our building 30 years ago, 30 years later too? You still need to be a leader too. So we get our fair share of challenge to challenge ourselves to be better. And I think you said it so right too. And I think The Well is one of the pinnacle projects Tridel ever undertake together with our other fellow developer. And we're grateful for the opportunity to do that. The Well, one of the reasons we called it The Well, there's literally an energy well underneath it. Through the M-Wave technology, we'll be able to bring in one of the most sustainable way of generating electricity, not just for the building, the complex, like a mini city itself, but for the actual region.
This feeds directly into the grid.
Yes, grid.
It's unbelievable.
That would basically we get an energy exchange through N-Wave, so it will be actually the deep lake cooling, and then the energy well is part of the extension of it.
It's
so if you imagine the technology put into it, that would be pretty incredible. On top of that too, where else in North America you'll be able to find 1 million square feet of AAA, once again, architecturally inspiring, cutting edge technology for that commercial building. And then also you're going to have 500,000 square feet of interestingly, indoor and outdoor ambience of it too. The well would also feature 70,000 square feet of fresh market. And imagine St. Lawrence Market, just right underneath your beautiful residence or office, whatever it is. I know you and I are foodie as well too. And
We're definitely
find
foodies.
some time to enjoy all the different culinary experience. And then even along Wellington, you probably see like 6 restaurant-like structure. Absolutely, those are beautiful, world-class restaurants. Will be along Wellington. That will be an Earth Museum. I think it's called Acadia Earth. That will be an Earth Museum, and there will be experience-driven retail. It's very exciting. So therefore, I'm actually organizing an exclusive tour with your team so that you'll be able to see. I refer to it like a vertex. You go in. And then that would be also a glass canopy that can actually facilitate what I refer to like an indoor-outdoor
I have
experience.
seen the incredible renderings for the last 2 years.
Never mind the rendering, you can see it now.
Oh, the fact that my physical, real human tour of the premises is coming up, I'm super excited. And I'm also, I don't know if you know this or not, my broker, Chris.
Yes.
We have an office.
Yes.
Literally 50 meters.
I know that.
So the fact that my downtown office, our brand new downtown office that we just acquired and built out, is 50 meters from the well. I think we have a great past of breaking bread together at some of the best places in the city, but I think we're going to have a whole lot of new foodie experiences right beside our offices.
A lot of people still, like obviously your team member, the Booker Playbook, your team, you obviously understand it well. I bet you a lot of customer or future customer don't even know what is the well. They think it is just like a commercial building. They may not even know that all this beautiful indoor-outdoor experience exists. So I think that would actually bring us to like almost like a new world-class city. And then also the technology you're going to see in there too will be also second to none too. Like we really focus on technology. We have Tridel Connect, so when you drive into your building, any Tridel building, you don't really need to stop and talk to the concierge. License plate recognition technology, and everybody order Amazon, right? So if you order Amazon, like I think one of the scenes that I have to confess I've not seen too many other buildings, but recently I have a chance to visit one of my relatives live in a non-Tridel building. It was a beautiful design lobby, but Simeon, interestingly, I don't see the lobby. Why? Because I only see parcels. So
packages and parcels.
Package and parcel, and I can even see the concierge because it's actually high behind the parcel. So I think we'd seen it coming a few years ago. So we designed, a parcel, not only a parcel storage area, but also a smart locker. So if Simeon orders something for Booker's Playbook, and then you put it on Amazon, you get a barcode. When you come back to a Tridel condominium, you scan the barcode, you go to the smart locker, you pick up the parcel. So little things like this.
So you're ahead of the trend.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that we had ahead of the trend, but I think we observe and ask a lot of questions. So I think being the leader for the past 90 years and 90,000 home built, and I think we are privileged to be able to learn from the experience. Some of the experience telling us that too, Winson, the building that come here too, I think the parcel seems to be a little bit overflow. The duty of the concierge may not be able to do the concierge because of the parcel. So because of this interaction, so we learn, and sometimes too, like we embrace mistake because mistake will actually make us stronger. So when I find out there's certain things that we do not do well here too.
You're always learning. You're always learning.
Would be there. Right, so that is something that I think tried out to differentiate from other developer. That obviously not many people have a privilege to work with 90,000 homes that we do, and then we always challenge ourselves and never mind just new building. And I think we are one of the only few developer really excited to show you our past. Some of the building, like recently, I go with my colleague and to make a video about to celebrate our 90 years anniversary next year, and for our new upcoming launch on Yonge Street. So what we did is we actually walked through a lot of building that we way back like 30 years ago when I started working with Tridel, some of the old office that I built, and visit some of the building. Now, Obviously, I have to confess, I'm a little bit nervous, right? Because I'm going into a building 25 years ago, have our team do right, and how the resident take care of the building, have our property management team make it the way it is. I'm happy to report it's still a wow after 20 plus years.
Which buildings, which of the Tridel did you
like
build?
say, we went to the Meridian on basically Finch and Young area. You walk in. Like if I didn't show you the location, the address, you think you're in Miami somewhere. Some of the design is simply timeless. You know, grand staircase and the white deco and all that too. And then most importantly is our property management team did an incredible job, and our resident as well too. You know, take care of property so well.
Well, your clients set themselves apart because the building. It all starts with the product. When you have product that's timeless, if the architecture is a standard every time, and you're not run of the mill, you don't get run of the mill residents.
Yes.
So I can just attest to right this second, we are working with a client to list a penthouse in one of the North York buildings. And I'm not going to speak to the building itself because we don't have it under contract yet, but we're working on it. And it's a penthouse and it's almost 2,000 square feet. This penthouse is 90% original. This is a person who moved in brand new, and it's an estate matter. The person has passed away, and this is an exemplary and perfect case of architecture meeting appropriate design. This is somebody's home for 30 years. The architecture of the building is one thing. The design component that this person put into it over the last 30 years, you still walk into it right now. You could easily wipe it out and redo it. But you could easily appreciate the timeless design of it and stay there forever.
100%.
And the design this person chose, obviously a creative, obviously somebody who appreciated their home, not only appreciated and took into consideration the building architecture, they doubled down and brought the design of the building in to their home. And it's just an unbelievable penthouse, 30 years old, and it's still more than relevant today.
100%.
And that just speaks to Tridel. I love that. Winson, take me through, like we're talking about some of the greatness that Tridel has attributed to the industry, the gratefulness of you and your organization to the market and its resilience. People that are in the business 2, 5, 7, 10 years may or may not know Tridel, may or may not have worked with Tridel. As this market changes, evolves, and progresses, as our immigration targets are shooting through the roof because we need more skilled trades, we need more technology in this country, we know they're coming here. As a broker looking to put their clients into the appropriate housing segment, how does a broker in the market today get familiar with Tridel? How can they work with Tridel? Where can they access the thousands of units that are going to be coming to market? Right now, people say, oh, there's no listings to buy. That's not true. If I were to go to Tridel website right now, I can see a myriad of communities with inventory available. How can an agent connect with your team and bring value to their client today?
Yeah, I think first it start from education. You know, Booker Playbook, it's a good resource. And I think for us being one of the largest condo builders in Canada, our website is also the most up-to-date one too. We update it almost on a daily basis too. I think first and foremost is through the website you'll be able to get information readily available. And next one is relatively simple. Simply reach out to myself, reach out to our team. Because Tridel, it's also unique from other developers too. We don't hire a third party to kind of market our product. And you dealing with me, I'm the broker of record of Dell Realty. You're dealing with our sales team. They are all direct employee for Tridel. So their compensation plan It's to help you facilitate the deal. So for instance, if you as a broker bring in a customer coming through to, if they say, okay, Simeon, it's too busy, I don't want to bother him, I come with you directly, but can you, take up a certain advantage and give me incentive? I'll answer simple no. Because we really relied it on, the word of mouth and especially with Broker Playbook, the long-standing relationship. We really treated you like the extension of our team.
100%. I have always been treated that way from Tridel.
Yes.
And this is why I believe this is one of the best sources for anyone out there. You don't have to call me to connect you. This is an open call to the industry to access top inventory. Go to Tridel.com.
Yes.
And check out for yourself to connect with Winson and his team. They protect brokers every single day by saying, no, you need to be with your broker. You need to have a proper understanding of the deal structure. Tell me a bit about that process at the office.
Yeah, so the process of office, and as I said, like very important to we making sure that you're the extension of our team, because no matter how good our sales team is, by the way, we are one of the most award-winning sales team in the industry as well too. Other than that too, no matter how good they were, I'd be able to control a customer maybe like 30, 40 minutes of the time. And after that, once they walk out from the office, you are on. So why Tridel? Like you talk about in the episode, why Tridel, the longevity and the reputation, the award that we make, the experience that we built, those are on you. Like you will be able to demonstrate, hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate that that's the Tridel difference. So therefore, we actually treat each and every one of you an integral part of our success, because you're the one who help us justify the brand. Like we understand that we have a certain brand quality, but then very important, I have to pass your test. Right? Otherwise, if you don't believe this is a good developer, this is a good building for your customer, this is a good floor plan, I would not pass the Simeon test. So after I pass the Simeon test, you'll be able to bring the customer to us. I think so. This is the relationship that I want to do to work with as well too. After all, they trust you first. As much as they want to trust Tridel, they need to understand.
Relationship is everything.
Relationship, the understanding,
yes.
And then also too, I think as I mentioned before too, take some time to learn about the brand. This is some of the partners listing that you check. Well, how come so many MLS listing only just put Tridel and that's it? Like there's no other description of it. Why? And then once you get into it and bring it to it. Now, one of the key attributes for our sales team is sometimes as much as, yes, you are a great sales team too, but we also train to sell our product as well too. So therefore, we work together. So you build a relationship, as Simeon was telling everybody, and then bring the customer to us. Let us present. Let us help you sell. Like we don't, okay, here's a brochure, go sell it, and then here's a commission. This is not how we operate. We collectively work together. Now, when we do the presentation, maybe Simeon, your team would say, okay, why don't we focus on this angle? This particular purchaser really needs some pets amenities. So then our team can direct you to, okay, so in terms of pets amenity, this is what you can focus on. Someone really
addressing the needs of the consumer.
Exactly. So we be able to know where they were. And sometimes too, yeah, technology is great. So that's only a feature. What's the benefit? So with this feature, the benefit they're getting is saving time, the convenience, the peace of mind.
I absolutely love this. So maybe this is something that I would like to break down. It is value proposition versus general outline. The value proposition to any one person is subjective to their circumstances.
Absolutely.
Somebody's saying this is a great location. Well, it's a great location to you.
Yeah.
But it's not a great location to me, so that means nothing.
Yeah.
But honing down and understanding that you as a broker out there has a relationship with a client. The difference with Tridel is when you bring your client to the sales office, depending on you and your relationship with your client and you relaying that information, your team can then take the strengths of the building as they relate to your client to transfer the value proposition and get the deal done.
Exactly. So that's a win-win situation as well too. Just don't follow. I really like the fact that, oh, here's the selling feature. It is unique. You have to personalize it. And then even a location too. Every location could be your Yorkville. Everybody loves Yorkville, but not everybody loves Yorkville at the same time. But like any location have the unique attribute. Now, and then also mindset and positivity is very important. Like, a lot of people say, okay, how to deal with the market. The market is negative. The first thing you needed to train to is you yourself need to be positive. Now, imagine my sales target versus yours. You have one listing, or maybe you have one customer sell, you need to deal with one sales target. When I was given a building to, a minimum size of a trial building will be like 200 suite. So interestingly, my target is not convincing the 70 or even 80,000 realtor or 7 million people agree. My mission is to find 200 people, right? So if I find 201, if I building of the 200 people, 201, one will be unhappy. So I think really need to have a positive mindset to dive down into the goal and then be positive. And then there is a lot of reason for us to be positive about the market. The market is one of the most resilient market in North America. And if you, okay, then the next question is, how do I want to be positive? Education, understanding the fact. Subscribe to Broker Playbook, ask Simeon, ask Jess. So like they would know because they really in the industry for a long time too. They can tell you the market is positive or negative. Rather than just the headline, okay, the market is down. Like say we went through so many episodes and
funny,
then all this
it's
too.
funny you mentioned this. In the last or second last podcast we did, I had one of my senior team members on the show. His name was Luke. And we covered what it is to be a student of the game, to be able to always increase your knowledge base, to always ask and find new ways to grow. You always, because you shared on this right now, as a leader in the industry, Tridel needs to continue to challenge itself, to reinvent itself, to provide bigger value to the market, to continue to be a leader. As an agent, we have the very same responsibility, don't we?
100%.
To continue growth.
They rely you to help them navigate the market. Right now, I wouldn't even sometimes call our sales team. We are almost like a counselor.
Yes.
Like a consultant.
Advisors. Trusted advisors.
You provide education. Give them informed decision. It's that, I'm not saying the media is wrong all the time, but like they always focus on the headline. How to analyze the headline. You really need to worry about it since the resilience of the market and whatnot. The other thing that I think what our sales team do and your sales team could do is to surround yourself with a good network. Education is something no one can take away from you. I always encourage my team to learn more, to understand more, either through courses or podcasts and all that, to learn more about the market so that you can make informed analysis and decision to your future customer. And then network is also very important. Network yourself with industry leader. Like for me, I'm so grateful that through our interaction that I get to know you like many years ago. But then without that network opportunity, I would not know Simeon. I know Simeon is one of the top team, but I didn't get to know you in person.
Of course.
There are so many things that I learned from your playbook, and likewise, there's something that you can learn from our team as
100%.
well too. So that's it. I think that's the beauty of our real estate industry. And then if you also comment about the industry too, again, the highlight of the episode is be grateful, because if you talk to some of your team members around the world, not many area like Toronto or Ontario, Canada have an organized real estate that, yes, we are competitor, but we also work together.
Correct.
Right? So I think that is something that is pretty incredible. Like, you should know, okay, Simeon, when I try to provide this feature, what's the angle that I can translate into the benefit? Like I learned from you. And then likewise, when you, okay, what is the newest technology that you can commenting about? Like say, one of the things that
everybody has just such a unique set of lens that when you put the whole machine together, everybody wins at such a grand scale.
Yeah.
And I've seen collaboration between, again, competitors becoming collaborators becomes a dangerous industry. And it's unbreakable at that point.
It is. And then I think our industry, we collectively create innovation too. We always talk about green. What is a green building? Later on, obviously, we can tell your team this is what we meant by green. This is our standard of green. Talk about that too. I think some of the audience may not even heard about that. First time I actually tell you before too, we heard about EV, electric vehicle. Okay, alternative energy vehicle. Do you know that condominium industry is going to be electrified as well? So Tridel is going to launch one of the first electrified building. So meaning that there's no like gas, no burning, there's no boilers, and then there will be fully electrified building, lower carbon footprint, and then arguably would save more energy. And then there was a lot of technology later on. Obviously, we can share with you later on. So those are the things that we constantly challenge ourselves. And then all because of our collaborative approach.
And if we're sharing the challenges, like you spoke about the parcels earlier, when you go into buildings that are, for example, a younger demographic, the younger demographic 100% shops on Amazon, probably 80 or 100% more than their parents would, or 300% more than their parents would. So the age and demographic of a building alone can share and or have different challenges than other buildings. Yeah. So you go into a downtown building that's full of students, not one of those students is shopping anywhere other than Amazon because they cannot be bothered. They cannot be bothered. They don't have the time. They have to go to work. They have to go to school. So you end up with a lobby full of parcels.
Absolutely.
So that challenge right there, if it's shared at the right time, and the developer community, and I will speak to most of the developers that I work with that I respect very much, are always listening, are all students of the game, meaning that if you can have a parcel room with smart lockers with this, that's going to be an attribute that people are willing to pay for, and it's going to be somewhere that somebody will make a decision on where they want to live based on those everyday life amenities.
Absolutely. And I think collectively, we are not quite competitive. We collectively is the city builder. If you take a look at the number of construction crane in North America, Toronto ranks supreme. Even quote unquote, we are now construction is slowing down. We still managed to have over 230 construction cranes. So meaning that we are building the city, we collectively challenge ourselves to build a city, what feature that you're looking for. And then even the build form, the location as well too. We as a builder always challenge ourselves to create a landmark into various areas. And then lately, some of maybe some of your team member would say, okay, Simeon, I do lakefront condo in Muskoka. Fine, you try that was great, but then I have no business with them, and thank you. But no, think again. Lately, I talking to some of the Muskoka realtor, they now is almost doing like a reverse selling. Like some of our audience or our potential purchaser being the COVID too because of remote work, they actually now living full time in Muskoka. And then now it's the reverse selling. They're now buying trying to try it out condominium in Harbor Walk or downtown or Queen Church as an urban cottage. So go figure that. So don't assume that, okay, I'm a resale agent, Simeon, thank you. I don't need to do with try it out. That's wrong. A, we have a lot of inventory, you cover that too. But B, even if you're in Muskoka, you now need to kind of participate into urban cottage. And the other flip side as well too is like before I live in Toronto, work downtown Toronto, I envisioned myself to buy a Muskoka cottage and with waterfront. And you and I talk about it. I know, Simeon, you're also a very like a boat, like you own a boat and you port credit yacht club and all that too. Before you envision this lifestyle in Muskoka.
But I will definitely be buying at Harbor Walk.
Yeah, of course.
We've talked about this. I'm waiting for my unit.
I have one design for you in phase 2. So
Perfect.
Don't even worry about it.
I'm not worried about it at all.
That deal is done. But then, interestingly, you and I were in your boat, we were talking about that. And then, interestingly, who would imagine that you'd be able to have a waterfront property like Muskoka in literally Mississauga and Toronto, we are in the border, line, right? So those are the new innovation that you needed to understand and learn about it.
I wasn't sure we're going to take the conversation there, but I do at this point want to talk about just that because you also brought up resale agents. I have made it my personal life work at this point in educating and adding verticals to our brothers and sisters' businesses nationally and potentially North America wide, depending on how my platform develops over the next year or so. But nationally, right now, Brokers Playbook is one of the country's biggest exclusive inventory portals. The reason we built this is because I, as an agent, I, as a team owner, I have a massive team, but my aspirations are bigger than me. My problem, but if I could recruit the world, I would have. I realized quickly upon scaling to 50, 60 brokers, how big and why you cannot scale. Because with recruiting people, you also assume their problems. So I needed to find a way to increase my business presence without assuming people's problems. The value proposition that I found to do that in is by supplying my exclusive inventory, the relationships that I've built over 20 years with you, with the next person. I'm going to bring that inventory and I'm going to teach the resale agent how to easily add this pillar to their business. So when we're talking about the inventory, brokersplaybook.com is home to Tridell's inventory in its entirety. You want to learn from Winson. You want to reach out. How do I get there? How do I come on through? You'll be walked through, red carpet, world-class service, you and your client. That is the point of competition versus collaboration. There is many ways to win together. And when we talk about, you just spoke about the urban cottage and Harbor Walk. When Tridell took on a massive master plan community, and this is at Lake Promenade.
Yeah.
So I'm a member at Port Credit Yacht Club. We have the Sea Ray there. We've had many meetings there and a great time. But just like me, the reason I'm looking for a penthouse there is because in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, there is going to come a time where my children who are 10 and 8 today are going to be 18 and 20. At that point, do I need my Mississauga home that has a carrying cost of X for no reason? The answer is no. I'm going to sell that home, be able to lock my door and go back to Greece, go to wherever I want to go to, and have the comforts that I've lived with my whole life, with the comforts of Muskoka, 15 minutes from downtown, where I can catch a game, go to the opera, attend a concert, whatever the case may be. This is why Tridell and specific other developers, because that's another huge partnership. And I want to speak to, again, that collaboration.
Yeah. And then I think that we also, obviously that's a great playbook as well too. We also talk about taking to the next level. Or how about even before the building come online? If you go to MLS, interestingly, sometimes it's a little bit too late, almost like a commercial listing. So what we plan about doing is the grand tour of the building before the building complete. Right. So whoever interested in the sign up, that we'll be able to do the hot head tour before the building come online.
And that's value to the client because you're going to pay a better price.
Exactly.
The earlier on in the process.
Yeah, and then also too, the behind the scene tool would give you and showcase some of the quality, what I refer to like a Tridell ready when you move into a building. So everything, it's would say everything, but a lot of things is going to be ready compared to the other developers, so that you'll be able to see it. And then most importantly is the opportunity awareness. Right now, yes, the market is not 100% back to normal, but you already start to hear some multiple offer beating it, one of the unique property, you may not be able to get access to it. Imagine you have access to the potential opportunity that is going to be incoming into the market. So that it's all the awareness. Like we talk about the well, we talk about the Birch on the Park, Harbor Walk. A lot of people may not even understand. Like you in industry, you may.
Well, we're going to make sure that they do.
Right.
Because we are going to shoot this content over the next 30 to 60 days. You're going to have the creme de la creme of my team, and we're going to create some content that the entire broker community will benefit from and get awareness and value to their clients with. Winson, every time we get together, our problem is we just have too much to share. I have promised this audience a half hour. We're probably sitting at well above a half hour. Winson, I want to thank you so much for your global insight, for your incredible advice to all of us, to the community out there, to my brothers and sisters. If you think Because of Winson's illustrious and award-winning career, he is not reachable. Guess again. This is one of the most humble humans on this planet that will spend any and all time with you to better your career and make sure that you're winning first. He has more than enough sales. He doesn't need to close anyone. But if you're looking for insight and a secure source of inventory, visit us at brokersplaybook.com. Visit Tridel.com. And by all means, reach out to community at brokersplaybook.com. Winson, thank you for visiting us at brokersplaybook.com.
Thank you, Simeon. The honor is mine. Thank you.